learn more, and become more. You are a leader. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the day one of Faculty Development Program or the first two box reloaded. Now, I welcome Dr. Marrynal Esther, Assistant Professor, to deliver the welcome address.
where we embark on a journey path of knowledge and welcome
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm words of welcome. Without further ado, I would like to call Dr. A. Prakash, Assistant Professor, to introduce the chief guest.
Good morning. Dr. R. Sridharan has completed PhD in Computer Science from Madurai Kamarajar University. He has published 50 plus research papers in reputed journals and chaired many conferences. He has also guided a number of research scholars in the area of cloud computing, security, IoT, e-learning, and blockchain. He has got more than 25 years academic experience with leading educational institutions at senior academic administration levels. He is currently the Dean of Faculty of Computer Applications, and also Dean of Academic Affairs, Marwadi University, Rajkot. He has initiated the formation of Computer Society of India, Rajkot chapter as a founder chairman. As Marwadi University, he has been instrumental in establishing a finishing school with the founding support of 50 lakhs from DST. Thank you, sir. Sir, welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, let's turn over the important part of the session by welcoming the speaker of the day, Mr. R. Sridharan, to take over the session. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much. First of all, heartiest thanks to Dr. Prakash, HOD Dr. Sindhil, Principal and the Management of Hindustan Arts and Science College for providing me an opportunity to discuss whatever small amount of knowledge gained by me during the research process. Whatever knowledge we gain over a period of time, unless you share it with youngsters like you, it's of no use of gaining. So that's the reason I'm accepted immediately to share whatever knowledge I got in the research front. Okay. In case you want to intervene at any point of time, you can. There is a hands up facility available. You can just raise your hand. Otherwise, you can come in the chat facility. Avoid coming in the voice mode until the admins or the organizers permit you to unmute and then talk in the voice mode. Other than that, equally important, the messages, all those things are read by me and I'll be answering to you. Fine. Second disclaimer, in case of any online problem, like connection goes cut and all, I request you to be patient. I'll soon join whenever the connection is again regained. Maybe within 2 to 3 minutes, I will rejoin again. So I'm supposed to have this session for 2 hours, right? What's the duration, Dr. Prakash?
So yes, sir.
It's for 2 hours, right? So approximately we are starting now. I'm supposed to wind it up by 12 o'clock or 12:10, right?
Okay, sir.
Right. In case I exceed, kindly alert me. Most probably I will complete it on time or before time only.
So 2 hours, sir.
Yeah. Dear participants, I assume that majority of you are just uh, starting your career in research, or majority of you would have recently started your research. But this workshop is quite suitable for beginners in the research only. Nevertheless, if some of the senior people are there, doctorates like Prakash and all, do participate while I am talking. In case you have some extra points to share, you can also share, because it's a purely I consider it as a discussion forum. And I sincerely appreciate the people, maybe around the number shown by 65, detecting myself and some of the organizers. 72 shows, suddenly some update. Okay, if I just remove myself and some of the organizers, I would see that around 65 to 67 participants would be there. Welcome you all on behalf of Hindustan. So let me now start my session with a PowerPoint. And the session is divided into three parts. First is the kickstarting of research, right? That would be some presentation. I'll be explaining when the slides are moving on. Plus, we will quit the presentation after that, and we'll have something like informal session about how to start your article kind of thing. Then again, we'll go to PowerPoint mode to discuss about effective article writing. I think these are some of the stuff I have gathered, maybe for 2 hours of duration. Now, let me present my screen. I hope my screen is visible. Prakash sir, hope my screen is visible.
So yes, sir.
Very good. So I named this session as kickstarting your research. Okay. So most of you would be using two-wheelers, right? And most of the two-wheelers are now fitted with a button start, right? With a battery backup. The moment you press, like whatever you see in cars, no, they are available in bikes also. But instead of, in addition to this button start, the kickstart would also be there. If you just search in the bottom, excepting for EV, okay, electric vehicles, all the petrol vehicles will have kickstart also. The reason being, when button start doesn't work, the self-ignition doesn't work, you need some external stimuli to act upon you to give a kickstart. So that's the reason, like research won't be a cup of tea for everyone, because we are all used to conventional classroom delivery type of assignment, like wherein we prepare and we put it some slides in the form of this, and most of us will go for reading of the PowerPoint content. And in a class of 60, maybe 1 or 2 students will be bright enough to ask us some questions. So we will stop the presentation, we'll answer to the queries and then come back. So research is something different. First of all, there is a syllabus. Okay, what a class or whatever we have studied up to post-graduation, there is a syllabus, there is a mid-semester examination, there is a continuous evaluation component, there is an end-semester examination. That won't be the pattern of the research, it's something different. And one of my friends, while I was doing my research, she gave a blunt definition of research, okay? And don't take it as granted that this is a final definition of research. It's a very casual kind of thing, okay? I'm sorry if some of you heard out of this definition, which is, I'm not bothered, because I'm not responsible. Someone was told, I'm just sharing it with you. So according to that, madam, she says that research is an award. PhD is an award. It's an end product. It's an award given by one individual to another individual without any proper evaluation or methodology. So this is what they said at that point of time. So more and more universities have now participated in the research. We got many rules are lined up. We got a research advisory committee for every candidate comprising of the supervisor, internal expert and external expert. These three form a small group to test and understand. Hello, hello, hello. Any issue? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. No problem, sir. You go ahead, sir.
Yeah, right. Fine. Okay. So let us move on to the small agenda. Before that, let me have a. I am here from Gujarat. Okay, which is like a mango in the Indian map, hanging mango, right? In that maybe somewhere in the north side, the Rajkot is available, and I belong to the Marwadi University, which is a very big establishment in this region, offering to more than around 27 programs. 27 verticals are there, and of that, I'm the dean of computer applications. Under me, BCA, BSc IT, BSc Data Science, BSc Cybersecurity, and NEP implemented BC honors with 4 years, multiple entry, multiple exit, and with dual degree options are also available. In the postgraduate, you got MSc Cybersecurity, MSc Data Science, MCA. So these are the courses of which I am in charge. It itself is a separate college in the university. It's like a college, We get an intake of 1,500 students per year, only for my, you can say, department or faculty. So we have got around 45 plus full-time faculty members, plus lab instructors additionally, plus admin staffs are also available. And we got around 6 labs associated with Faculty of Computer Applications. All the labs are industry-supported labs. We got industry supports in one form or another. And this is what the thing. This is my data. Like I did my BSc Mathematics after that MCA. And my PhD is also in computer applications, all from South India only. And I did my MBA just because I love the managerial role, and I thought like without knowing the aspects of HR, it's very difficult to manage a department or a team. So I thought like I wanted to know the complete details about managing a team. So I took MBA HR. And MBA, I did it only out of passion. I don't have any single publication in MBA. I not strengthened my managerial lessons or something. But all my achievements, whatever I quote, like they're all from computer science background only. I have a total experience of 3 decades. Out of them, around 8 years are from industry, and the remaining are from teaching. I started my career as a part-time faculty, and I improved stage by stage to become independent dean of this wonderful university. My second designation here is the dean academic affairs. So people have introduced me. So whatever possible way I can do, I'm doing the support to construct these academic departments. I did my PhD in an area called design patterns, which is a branch of software engineering. In that particularly, model view controller pattern was the idea. So I examined the suitability of applying model view controller pattern for the web application and found certain pitfalls, and I found a solution for that. So this is what the PhD all about it. And the current research area after that PhD is the cloud security and blockchain security, because I thought like more focused on the security domain. So I got a couple of candidates who have completed three candidates. I think they have completed their research in cloud security, and some of them are currently doing in blockchain security, network security, and so on. So security is my domain as of now. And I have a total publications of 75 plus in reputed journals and conferences. Out of them, you can count around 30 of them are high index, maybe SCI and Scopus publications. And I filed a patent of 4, and I got a copyright of 1. And I received a lot of funded projects of 75 lakhs worth funded projects, and I have done it. Okay. So this is what my small introduction, and just a minute. Some people are standing out. Please send them out here. I'm in a session for 2 hours. So this is my agenda as of now. The first part is concerned. We will see the definition of research, not the one which I shared some time back. We'll go for a formal definitions of research. And we will see what are the methods of research available. And is there any summary possible? We will take up the summary also, the research. What are the objectives of doing the research? That also we will find it out. Somebody asked this question, motivations in research. Why do I have to do the research? What is the motivation I got? That part also, we will take it up. Is there anything like good research or bad research kind of thing? That definition also, we will take it. And certain do's and don'ts of research also, we will take it up. Whatever. So this is what the agenda all about it today. So this is a definition. I took it from a easily available source called Wikipedia. So if you look into that, like see the first part of this definition. Research can be defined as the search of knowledge or any systematic investigation with an open mind to establish novel fact. So where is the full stop? Full stops comes at the end of 5th line. So whenever these kind of complicated definitions are there, we will use our own style. No? We are all software people. We use our style called divide and conquer. Divide them into small pieces and then try to fetch the meaning for each piece. Then we will try to coin them like a mala. So this is what I'm also going to do. So if you take research, first of all, he says this is search of knowledge. Search for knowledge. We are doing some search, that's all. Just as a Google search, how are you searching? Or any search engine, what do you do? In the same way, we are going to search for knowledge. Knowledge is wisdom, all of you know about it. This is what we are going to do. So, search means what kind of search? That comes in the next line. It is in the form of a systematic investigation. So, systematic investigation, that's what we are going to do. What is systematic? There is a procedure. There is a step-by-step process like a flowchart, what we say. And there is a relationship between these steps. For example, one after another. Okay, first the relationship, like you can start the second only after the first step is completed. Maybe 1 or 2 activities may be parallel. So these are relationships of tasks like finish, start, finish, start, stop. These are the things that are available. People who have studied project management, they know about all these 4 relationships. So first we are going to do search for the knowledge. How do you do? It can be a systematic investigation. Third word is the open mind. You need an open mind. Okay, what is open mind? Keep your sensory organs open. Your eyes, your ears, whatever sensory organs you got, you have to keep it open, including the mind. Okay, just a minute. Please. I'm sorry, some interruption. So, any systematic investigation with an open mind. Okay, open mind means what? In people who have taken system analysis and design, they know like open system, closed system. So open system means now we are allowing environmental input to come inside. So it's all kept open. This window is currently now closed in my room. If I keep it open, then probably I'm allowing the air to come inside, light to come inside. So openness means now we keep our organs open, we listen to people to understand the problem, solutions, and so on. So there is a proverb also, no? Parachute works only when it is open, otherwise it will not work. So what do? We can establish a novel fact, solve new or existing problems. See, always we cannot pick up a new problem and then solve. It is not available to everyone. And in our context, practically speaking, all of us are working, right? We have a working hours of maybe 20 hours to 25 plus hours, theoretical and lab together. And besides that, you need to do mentoring also. Now, every institute wants their people to be Ashtabadani, right? They want to take everything all in one. Research, yeah, we have to do research. Admin, yeah, you should take admin. Class, yeah, you should take class. So that is the way we are doing. Everyone is under too much of pressure. So you may not always get a new problem, but you can take an existing problem, right? If that person has achieved around 80%, if you are able to achieve 1% extra, 81%, that is considered as a research, innovative research. So to develop new theories, right? The new theory is not there. The existing theory also you can improve usually using a scientific method. There is a procedure. We call it as research methodology. The methodology is different across science stream, engineering stream, arts stream, management stream. Plus or minus 15 to 20%, there will be some deviation in the methodology. By and large, there is a scientific process in place. There is a systematic procedure in place. So we have to do the research in that. So basically, this is the para, the first para is the definition, core definition of research methodology, which I took it from Wikipedia. So I'll read down for you. Now you will understand every bit of it. So it can be defined as a search for knowledge or any systematic investigation with an open-mindedness to establish novel fact. So novel facts means what? It is interesting. It is also useful to people. Solve new or existing problems, prove new ideas or theories, usually using the scientific method. So what do we do basically here? Discover, interpret. Interpret, nothing wrong. See, I also correct some theses every year. I accept around 10 to 12 theses in a year from various universities. I am just correcting it. The major fault I find with people, now I'm not differentiating north, south and all, whole thesis, you want to hide a certain thing in the thesis, right? You have done something, you want to keep it as a secret thing. I don't want to tell others. So please trust me, like it is not considered as a PhD or a research. Whatever you do, it should be original, agreed. But why not you tell loudly to people like this is what I have done? So, if anybody has visited a place near Madurai called Tirugostiyur? Tirugostiyur, anybody has visited? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Tirugostiyur?
No, sir.
No. Single person. Then it's good for me. Whatever I say, you have to believe.
Yes, sir, I visited, sir. Very
Madam?
nice. I visited, sir. Very close to you.
Oh, visited. Can you share what's the important over there, madam?
Sir, that statue standing on the tower of the temple, sir, that is very important. In my point of view.
Great. Fantastic. Okay.
Thank you.
So the story goes like that. I don't want to name the people. There is a guru. Okay. There is a Sishya. Okay. A student. So Guru taught to that Sishya. The Sishya is very, very enthusiastic guy and he learns things so fast. So at the age of around 12 or 13, he learned all the, Tamil Vittaigal, right? All the Vittaigal they have learned, okay, from the Guru. And ultimately Guru calls him one day like, you learned everything, whatever possible from me, you have learned. Now I'm going to teach you an important mantra, right? The inner problem, you have to keep the mantra secretly within you. Don't share it with people. The moment you share it with others, the effect of mantra will go. Okay. So this is what the Guru says. So the student understood like there is some power on the slog. Okay, no problem. We will go ahead. But the second fact is not understanding. How do I lose the power if I teach with everyone? If I'm getting benefited, let everyone gets benefited. What's the problem? So there is a temple which, as Ponmail madam correctly said, there is a temple. The student climbs on the roof of the temple and he shouts at the villagers, please come, please come. Please come, please come. He's shouting. Not only human, but also the cattle came. Okay, Adu, everything came in front of him and he loudly shouts the mantra. You learn it. I got some precious gift from my teacher. Better let the same benefit will go to you also. You also learn it from me. So at that time, Guru came there. He felt very bad. He became very angry. He sentenced the fellow. Okay, you have violated the norms of the teacher. You are going to suffer like anything in your life. At the same time, it is said like God appeared before them and said like whatever the student has done is justifiable. By sharing his knowledge with others, he is not going to lose anything. So that was a lesson for the Guru as well. So that is what here also we are studying. Discover and interpret. Nothing wrong in interpreting. So you need to interpret that thing to people. Then only the value of knowledge, whatever you have gained, will have a sustainable effect. Okay. Now I move on to the next one. There should be an advancement of human knowledge and so on. So some blunt definition of research is research, right? Research is research. You have to do some search. People have already done something. I want to do some more extra. That's called research. So the phases you can see in the text part or you can see in the flowchart part also. First of all, we do a literature survey, thorough literature survey. What people have done in your area. Suppose some people are doing cloud security or some people are doing in machine learning, applying to some agriculture field or medical field, whatever it may be. You need to know thoroughly like what is happening till this moment in the area which I have chosen. Without that, you cannot arbitrarily start your research from a point and you will never end with your destination. Even though you claim that you have reached a destination, there may be a rare coincidence like somebody would have done at some part of the country on the same title, maybe same topic, maybe same algorithm, he would have done it. So very much essential, the first thing is literature review. Whatever has happened till today in my area, use the same search string. Your keywords can be searched and you get to know the state of the art of the research in that area. Then you have to read them. You have to read the literature and you have to understand, is there any issue? Is there any limitation which people have not taken up? People have not solved it. This is what you need to do. So this is what you want a criticality in mind. You see everything positive, so fault will not appear in your eyes. You should have a critical mind, like if you read a literature, what is the good thing? At the same time, what's the limitation of the literature is equally important. If you know the limitation, then you are advancing your research. Be a critical in mind. You should find a fault in any paper. This is the first exercise I give to my research scholar also. I'll give them some papers. I tell them like, you appraise this paper. Appraise means good and bad. Just as we appraisal system at university and colleges we are having for increments, same thing you have to appraise the paper. So what is a good thing? What is the contribution? Where there is lagging? Where is the limitation? It's very tough task. Looks like very simple. It is not simple. It's very tough task. If you learn to do a critical review for a paper, technical paper, that means that you are very good enough for the research. So identify issues, then you have to do some preliminary work. Okay. So you need to implement as it is. We are going to see in the next part very thoroughly. Then data consolidation and framing. So if you see the collect, collate, present. These are the three steps. Collect is collecting the fact. That's called literature survey. Collate means you find to group them, try to group them, try to give a meaning for each group. That's what we say. Summarize is also part of collate. And finally, I do presenting. These are the three major steps or crucial steps available in the research. So what are the methods of research people are doing? I said like art and science, linguistics research, commerce, management, computer science, other science subjects, mathematics, engineering. These are the branches available. If you look at it, some of the research methods are called exploratory method. If you identify a problem only without giving a solution, that's a research. But the problem you identify should be taking the successors, taking the society in a new direction for research. Understood? Somebody has already discovered the problem. If you say the same thing, it is not appreciated. You should have identified the problem in an original way. That's the first one. Constructive is a solution. So take a problem, you try and find a solution. That's called constructive. Now here there is one word of correct here. Sir, PG students, MTech students are also doing project. Okay, they are also taking one problem. They are trying to find a solution. Is it the same as PhD? Means there is one step different. Is there? You may take a problem. You may find a solution. Exactly you do in your post-graduation. At the same time, you should generalize it. The generalization may not be available with the post-graduation. May or may not be. But the generalization would be available as a researcher. As a PhD, it is expected. What do you mean by generalization? I take a problem, I solve it. Then I arrive at a model. I will check that this model is applicable for similar domains also, right? We tested with medical data. I will test with some other multimedia data or some other biometric data, something like that. If it is able to satisfy multiple fields, at least more than one field, then it is called generalized. You bring certain general features into that research component so that it can be pitched in or it can be used in wide variety of fields. This is what the generalization, right? Then constructive means finding a solution. Empirical research is it's know that people who learn statistics, they know that testing the feasibility of a solution. So whether it's feasible or not, that itself is a research called empirical research. Primary, the research which works on the first-hand data or the fresh data collected by you. Okay, that's called primary. Already published data, we are taking it and very, very authoritative in nature, and you have to do that. It is called secondary. So secondary data has got value better than primary data, I tell you, because primary data is you are collecting. So you have a lot of things you should do that. Whether the data is appropriate for that, whether the test bench which I use can make it of the data, is there any modification I should do? It's a bit cumbersome or tedious to use the primary data. Okay, qualitative, quantitative. Quantitative is testing the human behavior. Okay, you know that we have a lot of feelings like if you're happy, like you say good, very good, excellent, wow. These kind of feelings are qualitative. Another examples of qualitative: customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction, it's difficult to measure in terms of number. So customer satisfaction, employee retention, okay, these are the things, are the performance of employer, performance of particular business line. So all these things are qualitative. Quantitative deals with numerical kind of data, various parameters. You need to give accurate measures, okay, to the tone of decimal point and so on. This we call it as quantitative. These are the varieties of research methods available, and your PhD is a conglomerate. Conglomerate means combination of few methods out of it. Some PhD may have all the methods also. So it depends upon the situation, depends upon the guidance provided by your supervisor or guide. You need to take it up further. So these are the types, but these types can be grouped into 2 or 3 collection. First is the methods which are related to the data. For example, if you go there, we got a primary, secondary, qualitative, quantitative. These are all related to data. So there is a group of collection of data, the methods which are related to the collection of data. This is number 1. And secondly, establishing the novel fact. Okay, so establishing the relationship between the data and unknown is the second one. There is some available data available. Okay, they are known, which are unknown. We have to get the connectivity. So any small flowchart which you give it for BCA student, also you know what is known, what is unknown variables, right? So known variable is the one which we collected. आवाज नहीं आना पड़ेगा इधर, हम 2 hour session है मुझे, ठीक है? So establishing a novel fact, there's a thing. And third is something related to evaluation of accuracy. Okay, so we have done, that's called, we said, like, like feasibility, other things like significance, significant intervals, these are the things. So it's going by statistics mostly. These are the three groups of methods. Next is objective of the research. What are you going to achieve out of the research? The first one is, there are some questions which are not taken up in the past. As a researcher, I have a primary duty to answer. That means primary duty to give answers to the questions which are not available anywhere. This is the first one we are going to do. Number two, truth which is hidden. Right? Thiruvalluvar said, like, Anuvai Thulaithu Elu Kadalai Pirithu, something like that. Kurugat Taritha Kural. Right? So Kural Kulla, there is a meaning which is embedded inside. So that meaning is something like a ocean, big ocean. Every Kural which is just less than 2 lines of sentence, it has got meaning inside, truth inside. You as a researcher also should bring the truth outside which is hidden. Okay, that's what we are going to do. Then to achieve new heights into that. So there was a fellow who was digging the road because somebody has said, like, there is a treasure. Okay, Podayal, there is a treasure available after 50 feet. So this fellow does maybe 35 feet. Then he lost the hope and he went. Then another fellow will come. Same old man said, like, there is a treasure. Nobody believes. Please take it up. This fellow digs further, maybe 40 feet, and then lost his hopes and then go. If you see that, everyone is progressing towards something contributory in nature. Ultimately, who reaches a significant level of destination, they will enjoy the treasure out of it. But nevertheless, முதல்ல தோண்டினவரும் கான்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. 35 ஃபீட்டுங்கிறது சும்மா கிடையாது. அடுத்து தோண்டினவரும் 5 ஃபீட் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா மீன்ஸ் அதுவும் ஒரு கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் தான். கடைசியா தோண்டினவர் கொஞ்சம் இன்னும் டெப்தா போய் he brought some fact to the world. That's a novel fact which I discussed earlier. So that is the thing about the research. Then the fourth one, research can also be like that to determine the frequency. So for example, there is a ring road. So you need to have a research on number of accidents happen in the month. So you find out the reason for that. Then you try to find a solution by changing the shape of the road or reducing the openings of the road junctions or something, or installing some signal barricades. All those things if you do, then the frequency may be decreased. This is what. In terms of customer, I want to increase the frequency. In terms of problems, I want to reduce it. That's also your research. Then finally, to test a hypothesis. Hypothesis is a belief. I believe that something is to be true, but it need not be true. So I can test a hypothesis against a causal relationship between the variable and the unknowns. So this is the objective of the research. Then move on to motivation. எதுக்கு சார் பண்றோம் ரிசர்ச்? அது வேற அப்ஜெக்டிவ் வேற, where we are going to stop the research. This is why we have to do research, because the UGC is insisting, because the institute is insisting. Yes, there are something more behind that. Number one is desire to get a research degree along with its consequential benefits. Respectable degree. It is a respectable degree, and people who have not doctorate qualified as of now, just to add doctor before your name right now and then delete it. So when you read your name like Dr. Sridharan or something, you get superiority, you get a lot of power. You feel like Madam Prakash, everyone has done like this only. It's very good. The first time when somebody calls him as Dr. Prakash, what's the feeling he would have had? In the same way, I also had it. My father is the one who called me after the Viva, right? That's it. So this is what the thing all about it. Second is desire to face the challenges in solving the unsolved problem. Okay, so married people also, we have lot of problems in the life, maybe from spouse or maybe some family of this side, that side and all. So if you are a PhD, you can solve any problem in the life problem very easily without your worry. So that is the second advantage of it. Every problem appears to be smaller when compared with your PhD problem. That's the case. Third is desire to get an intellectual joy of doing something, creative work. In fact, first paper writing is very tedious. Okay, your guide will not approve. Lot of corrections you have to do, 15 corrections, 20 corrections. But still, this is very difficult. But once you habituate it, what will happen? Like we have tea every 2 hours. Now I have habituated. I cannot stop like that. So, if there are people available, the flight journey of 2 hours, 2.5 hours, they will complete on paper. Right? But paper will be very high quality. It's not like something like collecting something and putting it. No. They're all senior people, senior academicians, scientists. They would have collected everything before they board in the flight. Okay. They would have collected everything and on the go, they will complete it. The moment they land, they will send it for publishers. Trust me, there are people available like that. So desire to be service to the society is very rare. Like doctor யாரை கேட்டாலும் சர்வீஸ் பண்ண போறேன் அப்படின்பாங்க. சில பேர் இருக்காங்க சர்வீஸ் பண்ணணும், I need to become Abdul Kalam or something. That group is very minor. That is also available. Desire to get respectability. My friend used to say that 3 kind of doctors, medical doctor available. And some politicians, they use their influence and they get honorary doctorate, okay, from the various universities. And we academicians, we do proper methodology, complete it in 3 years, 4 years or something. We also get doctorate. Out of them, you know pretty well, the doctorate qualification, which is obtained by professors, are valued very high when compared with the rest of them. Okay. What is a good research? There are 4 parameters. There we call them as good research. Number 1 is it should be systematic. Okay, as I told you, the definition is also having the word called systematic. So if the methodology is followed properly, we call it as systematic investigation. So that is the first characteristic of a research. Logical. What is logical? People should believe. Should trust like it is doable, right? Which is not like practically impossible. It should be possible. So that's what logical. People can adapt, okay, and take it forward. So empirical means quantifiable. I've done this much, already I found this much, I improved it by 10%, 5%, etc. That's the third one. Fourth one is replicable. Like you do one PhD, then another fellow will read it, we will try to expand it further. Okay, so my papers are also being visible and I get citations, I get further research. So if your research put you in a dead end, so further people cannot proceed after the dead end, then it's not useful at all. So these are the 4 characteristics. Check for these 4 in a research work. Maybe if you come across a PhD thesis or even paper, these parameters are taken up, then you can call it as an ideal research or a good research. What's the process flow? First of all, research goal. Begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. So where do you want to reach? Identify your goal. That's very much important. The story also like Alice in Wonderland, like there is a girl, Alice. Okay. So what she does, she comes out of the home and she doesn't know where to proceed. So she is standing in the 4 corners and asking a person over there which route I can go. The person asks her, where do you want to go? I don't know, she said. So you can go to any route. Any route, because you obviously do not know where do you want to go. So you can take any route. Okay, whatever destination you reach will be your destination. So that should not be the case with us. You should understand this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm not going to do. இது வந்து நீங்க ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கணும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட். If you are not strong in the first point, what will happen? Many diversions will happen. So when I start with cloud computing. Now people say that the cloud is going from the market. You need to take some other thing. So that more people will come and spoil. They'll make you, distracted here and there. Or you see one article where something they talk about the facial feature extraction. So you want to jump from your topic to that topic. So that such people will not be completing the PhD on time. So research goal, இதுதான் பண்ணிருக்கேன், இதுதான் பண்ண போறேன். I'm not going to do anything else. Whatever comes like, Mahabharata, Arjuna, when he was aiming at it, target, he said, I know only the eye of the parrot or eye of the bird or something. I don't know anything else. So that should be the focus you should have. Second is, as I told, repeatedly tell, even now I'm telling, extensive literature review is very much important. What is happening today, then only you can get lead from that. Third is, from that you should do a problem formulation properly. Many theses, there is no problem formulation statement. Okay, what is the research gap identified by you? What are the objectives of research you have got? What is the methodology you are going to follow? Many theses, all such theses now are mercilessly rejected by me. I don't even take it further. If you want, you give it to some other reviewer who is very comfortable to you, kind of thing. So, see, like doctors have got a role. Like you, doctorates should also have a role. So, உங்களுக்கு ஒரு வேல்யூ ஆட் ஆகணும்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா, ரைட், நம்ம செய்யற தொழிலை பர்ஃபெக்டா பண்ணணும், ஒரு பக்தியோட பண்ணணும். ஓகே, அது ரொம்ப குறைஞ்சிட்டு வருது சவுத்ல மோர் கம்பேர்ட் டு திஸ் ஏரியா. அதனாலதான் போதுண்டா சாமி சொல்லி தப்பிச்சோடிங்க வந்துட்டேன். ஓகே, இட் இஸ் வெரி மோர் பிகாஸ் மெத்தடாலஜி கிடையாது. கைட் themselves, they are most of the guides not competent enough to guide the scholars. So நீங்க அவருடைய சப்ஜெக்ட் தெரிஞ்சுக்காம இருக்கலாம், பட் மெத்தடாலஜி you should be strong. எது ரைட் எது தப்பு நீங்க சொல்லணும். அதே மாதிரி we arrange viva by calling some known circle people and do that viva, so that when I'm called, you select my candidate, you approve the thesis of my candidate, I will also do. So இதெல்லாம் நடக்க என்ன ஆகும்னா, கடைசியா we as an India will not be producing a good research intellectual capital. So நீங்க previous research, maybe எங்க பீரியட்ல இருந்த ரிசர்ச்சுக்கும் இப்ப 2-3 years சூத் கங்கால போய் பாருங்க. சூத் கங்கால லேட்டஸ்டா என்ன மாதிரி PhD thesis வருதுன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, குவாலிட்டி குறையுது நல்லா தெரியும். பட் some people, I'm not telling a generic statement, some supervisors are principle oriented people, they are very strong in the methodology, they guide students, they will not accept anything below the desired quality, and when they evaluate the thesis, they'll also mercilessly say that this is not proper. So அது நீங்க ஒவ்வொருத்தரும், when you become a person like me or maybe more, so that should be the thing. நான் எதுக்காக படிச்சிருக்கேன் அதை fulfill பண்ணணும். That's most important thing. Development of a model, இதெல்லாம் தான் உங்களுடைய ஒரிஜினாலிட்டி. ஒரு மாடல் கிரியேட் பண்ணலாம், நியூ அல்காரிதம் கொடுக்கலாம், ரீஇன்ஜினியரிங் எக்ஸிஸ்டிங் அல்காரிதத்தை மாடிஃபை பண்ணி and just modifying it so that it gives a better result. So these are the things, outcome we are expecting out of your research. Okay, I have done something, I do not know how it's going to behave. I do not know whether it will behave in summer properly or winter it will fail and all. So I need a proper data to test my model. So data acquisition, you can acquire from primary or secondary, you have to test it on your model or an algorithm and see to that you are getting proper result. And sixth part is equally important. You have done a model, you have got a data, you tested it, you tabulated it. Against what? You have to compare it with the available model, which is already existing. Similar model. You have to do some comparison. The comparison parameters are available. You compare them and you tabulate it, then you present it. It has got the ultimate value. Okay, I have done a model, I have done it here, the generalization will come. As I told you, you have to make your model to work for more than one domain, more than one application. That's called generalization. Interpretation, you know very well, the value. Because you got a value, from the value, what do you want to interpret? Okay, it's very easy to apply a tool and get a value, but you need to do a tool also. Okay, a proper interpretation is very much important. For that also you take that. And finally, preparation of the result and viva. Next one. So preparation of the report and presentation of result is also the very important factor. Right? Same thing, I had some pictorial representation, so I can skip it now. The first step in research is the selection of the problem. When this goes fail, people cannot complete it on time. This has to be done very carefully, either based on personal interest or as per the concurrence of the guidance of the supervisor. You should take. Unga interest too important. Individual interest, I want to do something. In one of my scholars, I took Dr. Shailaja from Bangalore. She was working for a school. So I told her a number of times, Madam, PhD you are doing, so better to convert yourself into college. Even if you want to come, you can come to my university, you can work with my department, I can provide you opportunity. But she said, teaching school children is my passion. I will never teach college people because their mind is set already. They know certain quantum of knowledge. The inquisitiveness or interest shown by the school children cannot be comparable with the elderly people. And she picked up a problem for her own school, right? And the problem is, so many tools are there for the automatic correction of MCQ questions. Okay? Now the online, so far the pandemic situation, everyone will have used online tool. Most of them are there to test people in MCQs, right? Whereas there was no tool available at that time to check, automatically evaluate descriptive type of answers. So descriptive type of answers, she did it, a very beautiful thing. And she went abroad, she got a grasshopper scholarship, and she went abroad, one time UK, one time US, 2 times for her research presentation over there. Many forums are invited her and she did it. And she has used a phenomenon known as word cloud. 2 word clouds she created, one for the correct answer, one for the answer written by the student. She made a comparison bench by which it automatically evaluates the descriptive answers also. This is a very appreciable research. And she is the first scholar in me who did, she presented in Springer Journal at that point of time. I'm referring to a situation 7 years ago. First journal, Springer Journal publication for me is through her only. So this is what the background. Knowledge of the tools and experimental setup is very much needed because you need the experimentation tool. Now the another mistake what people do, I will hire some students or somebody, I will contribute only an idea. Let student will implement for me, which is not a correct approach at all. Whatever tool you want to learn, you have to learn. I learned J2EE for my MEC implementation career. I just learned J2EE, Java 2 Enterprise Edition. I paid in Bytech those days. Bytech Computer Center was very popular. In Madurai, I learned J2EE. It was very difficult at the point of time. I learned JDK first and then I learned J2EE. And I personally implemented. If I'm stuck somewhere, people will be there to help me out. That you can do, but do not totally depend upon students. What he understands from you, only he can implement. What if there is a gap between his understanding what you tell? Then he is not implementing your idea. So please never do that. It's very, very, my sincere advice is you have to learn the tool. It's part of your research. Whichever tool you want to do, you have to learn it. Do some programming for your thing. If you're doing it only in C language also, most of the research problems can be tackled in C, C++, Java. Nowadays, people are going for Python for implementation because of the extensive set of packages and libraries you have got. So this is what the first step of research. Fine. So next is sources of research problems. Where can I get research? Number one, people. Talking to the individuals of the organization, you will understand so many issues which are not addressed by the existing system what they have. Second, problems themselves can give rise to other problems. Money attracts money, problem attracts problem. So each problem, if you look at it very carefully, you can say there are side stories, side problems available. You can take up any one of them. Program. So you develop a code or a program, you try to test it, something, you understand the behavior, how it behaves. Is there any problem with the performance related thing? Performance getting deteriorated due to some other external stimuli, external force, how to get rid of it. most of the cloud security things and all, they are working on this. When at the time of deployment, when I'm hosting an application in the cloud, or when I'm dealing with the data in the cloud, how the performance may be intervened due to the virtualization or something, due to some threats like DDoS attack or everything. So these are all the things people are commonly doing. Phenomena is a concept, okay, to establish the existence of a regularity. So the problem occurs once in 1,000. Why can't you reduce it to once in 2,000? So the regularity, I'm touching on it, and I'm doing something on the people, problem, programs, or concept or phenomenon. This is what the sources of the problems. So survey is highly important, and how we are doing survey. So for the survey, you have to consider already published papers. Here also one word of caution. People are writing survey by looking into other surveys. Never do. Survey can be written only from contributory papers. Understand? So my survey is survey on cloud computing threats. If I have to do the survey, suppose I browse and select similar surveys, which is not correct. I should select only concrete papers, people who have achieved, who have presented. That papers only you have to group it and find a survey. That is what the survey. And report. Okay, so many reports would have been there, white papers would be there, articles, books. All those 4 sources can be considered for writing your literature survey. So every beginning comes from other end. Where they are ending, where they are completing it, how to take it further and improve for the benefit of the organization. Second, you can do interview, observations, it all old methods. We collect data from various possibilities. And if you understand the problem thoroughly, you will reach the destination very easily. Otherwise, it will take time. Writing the definition of the problem, okay, you write it. You have to cultivate the habit of writing, okay. And maybe if you are used to maintaining everything in soft copy, you start writing in a paper or something, both makes a lot of difference. Being a previous generation person, I even believe in writing everything. So notes, kainada எழுதி தான் BCA, BSc Maths முடிச்சேன், MCA முடிச்சேன், MBA முடிச்சேன், PhD நிறைய எழுதி தள்ளுவேன். எக்கச்சக்கமா பேப்பர்ல எழுதிட்டே இருக்கிறது. Whenever you write it, no, it gets recorded very fast, and it gives a better maturity to talk in a forum like this or anywhere. So that's important thing, right? So writing habit you should cultivate. So to complete the research on time, make a plan for management. So timetable, நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட் பண்றாங்களே, timetable student பண்ணுவான். So பரீட்சை exam timetable வந்தோம்னா they become very alert and they write their own timetable for preparation. So நாளையில இருந்து நான் கரெக்டா ஒரு 4 o'clock அலாம் வச்சு எந்திரிப்பேன், அலாம் வச்சிருது, ரைட்டா? மொபைல்லையோ கிளாக்லையோ அலாம் அடிக்கும். Put it in snooze. ஒரு 10 நிமிஷம் ஸ்னூஸ்ல போட்டு ஒரு லாஸ்ட் பீஸ் ஆஃப் ஸ்லீப் ஐ கேன் என்ஜாய். அதுக்கப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நீங்க தான் வந்து பிளான் பண்றீங்க, நம்மளாலே ஒபே பண்ண முடியல. When we are writing our own plans, now what's the use of it? So timetable is important. How to adhere to the timetable, right? How to follow the timetable strictly. That's most important. Because timetable you are writing, so you should follow for that. Allocation of resources. Any project management problem, no resource you require. Time, equipment, manpower, everything is there. And I will tell you one general fact, like very few management, maybe like Hindustan, may be interested in your research. May not be with the case with every management. So you need to be there to take up their assignment till the close of time. After that, if you're not able to allocate the time for research within the stipulated duration, you come home and do. Every day at home, after reaching home, you can allot 1 or 2 hours regularly. So if you have achieved a small milestone, அதை வந்து டிராயர்ல வச்சு பூட்டி வைக்க கூடாது. Immediately you publish the result as soon as you reach a milestone, get the concurrence of your supervisor and publish it immediately. So these are the important aspects for planning. So presentation are of 2 types. Oral presentation. Oral presentation people do directly to Viva. No. Every week you can present. Every month you can present. Every week you can present. Every fortnight you can present with that. Whatever you have achieved. So every supervisor can form a small a group of research scholars So you can give a turn to every scholar to make a presentation about the scholar in a week of 2 weeks, in the interval of 2 weeks or 1 week, depending upon how they progress it. So each oral presentation should be recorded, should be documented, keep it with you. While you are submitting the thesis to the university, you also submit these different oral presentations taken up by you as a colloquium. It's called a colloquium. And previously when I submitted, no, there's got a value for colloquium. They add some marks also for the colloquium. So written presentation is a good backup. You write everything. And nowadays people do it in electronical also, no problem. Becomes a proof for later stage also. Because whenever you read a paper, you take a notes, you write it, and then you keep it for a later stage along with the reference. So result, you can publish in a quality journal. Okay. So you go for the journal which are not paid journals. Number one, many Springer journals, they don't charge you. ACM journals, many of them, they don't charge you. But please understand the motive behind that. No, quality becomes a secondary factor for journals which are getting money. There are very rarely good journals which are getting paid also, but try to avoid any paid journal. Only it's not at all possible you go for them. There are good journals available, you can do. Second is a patent. Patent is claiming a legal right of the result. If you have a model, if you have a new architecture you have developed, you have a new algorithm, all are patentable. You can patent it. Worst case, you can even get a copyright for your paper as a whole, if it is not contributing much. If it's a contributing, that model only you can extract from the paper, along with the working, where it will be applicable. Like that, there is a form, patent filling form. So you fill up and do that, and it has got 3 stages, patent. Okay, you have to apply. So they will give a proof for your application, acknowledgement kind of thing. Then they will publish it. Maybe they will publish it like a gazette kind of thing. They publish it and they will wait for people's opinion. Anybody has giving some remark about it, or they claim that it is their property or something. So after that cooling period, you will be granted the patent. These are the stages available. Product. Some of the publication can go to the product level also. So results can be, you can develop a product there. You need a collaboration with the industry, right? Industry support you want. Idea will be yours, and the people of the industry should get the idea from you. They should make it as a product. Please, again, be careful, like the patent of the product also very much important. Your idea can be patented. Your product can also be patented. So these are the different ways of handling the research result. Now we are now coming to the end of the first part, like do's and don'ts we are going to do. Do's means, from my experience, I'm just giving, like you need to work minimum 2 to 3 hours per day, continuously, without break, and with particular timing. Such are conditions. How many conditions? 2 to 3 hours per day. Continuously you should work. Break irukkoodadhu time. One time, 10 மணிக்கு நைட் உட்கார்ந்தேன்னா 10 to 12, right? Same time உட்காரணும். அந்த டயத்துல better to keep the mobile in flight mode. Okay. மொபைல் அலைவா இருக்கும்போது நம்ம சீரியஸா ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது ஒருத்தன் வந்துட்டே வருவான். ஹலோ அடிமா, ஹாய் அடிமா. இதை விட்டுட்டு அங்க போவோம். So continuity will be missed. So never do that. Mobile, put it in flight mode or silent mode, whatever you feel like. You stay away. You stay away from your connections. Then you can do that. Fine. Particular time, that time you don't do that. அரை மணி நேரம் படிச்சுட்டு கொஞ்சம் எந்திரிச்சு போறேன். Maximum concentrate பண்ணி 3 hours, 1 hour முடிச்சா கூட okay, no problem. But your concentration should be focused on the research. Develop a passion for research. I am doing for the sake of doing. No, it's a passion. You should start loving the work what you do. That's the second word. And you should always ask. Do not believe like something it is there. Print media la vanduruchu appa correct ah da irukum. Tata Migru Hall bookla போட்டுருக்கு, அது கரெக்டா இருக்கும். இந்த வெப்சைட்ல இருக்கு, IEEE ல வந்திருக்கு. எல்லாத்தையுமே கிரிட்டிக்கலா எடுத்துக்க முடியும். Everything can be criticized by you, commented by you. If you see the things with why and how, Why I should agree that? Why this fellow is making this statement? How he proves that? Which algorithm? How he claims that is a new algorithm? So all questions are starting with why and how. You should start doing that. And while writing paper also, you can be a self-critic. என்னோட ஒர்க்கை நானே கிரிட்டிசைஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். பண்ணலாமே, நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க. என்னோட ஒர்க்கை நானே கிரிட்டிசைஸ் பண்றேன். Each and every statement you make, why I am making, what's the consequence, what it is contributing, how it is following from the previous statement. That's what being a self-critic. Create a healthy atmosphere at home and workplace as well. So வீட்டில் இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கும் உங்க PhD ரொம்ப முக்கியமா தெரியணும். உங்க colleagues, உங்க boss, உங்க HOD, for him also, your PhD must be important. So they should cooperate with you. Cooperate பண்ண வைக்கிறது உங்க கையில இருக்கு. You have to create a healthy atmosphere at home and workplace as well. Now let us see some of the don'ts aspect. Communication gap between you and the supervisor or a guide. நீங்க பாக்குறேன், அப்புறம் ஒரு 6 மாசம் கழிச்சு பாக்குறேன். ஸோ கோச் பார்த்து கையில ஏதாவது வாங்கிட்டு போவோம், பழம், ஸ்வீட்டு, அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப அன்ப்ரொஃபஷனல் அப்ரோச். நெவர் டூ தட். So communication gap, you try to avoid at least once in a month is ideal time. And every meeting you have with the supervisor, you minutize it. These are the points I discussed today. These are the suggestions given by the supervisor. You sign, it may be even a diary, normal diary, you sign and then you ask your supervisor to sign. This is a great, good habit. So any point of time, it gives a continuum. What discussion we had it, what we have to do that. The loss of focus. Okay, as I told you in the beginning itself, changing the guide. Okay, that also happens. Changing the application, changing the research area, that should be avoided. Discontinuity. Diversified interest in other money-making businesses. Because we faculty, nowadays, in the online session, paper correction போறோம், நான் வந்து எக்ஸாமினர் போனேன், அவங்களுக்கு நான் கூப்பிடலாம், அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணி இதெல்லாம் வந்து மணி மேக்கிங் பிசினஸ் வந்து கொஞ்ச நாளைக்கு we have to postpone till we complete your. இதெல்லாம் ஒரு சாக்ரிஃபைஸ், ஒரு என்ன சொல்றது, இது ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு okay sacrifice or தியாகம் you can take like that. This is the thing. The time thieves, you identify them. Your friend will be a thief, relative will be a thief. TV programs, your favorite serial, okay, whatever is there you come across in Sun TV, other things, mobile chat, email, magazines, newspapers, எல்லாம் கொஞ்ச நாளைக்கு ஒதுங்கி வைக்கலாம். எல்லாமே எங்கேயும் போகாது. ஓகே, எல்லாமே வந்து கிளவுட்ல இருக்கும். You can take it at any point of time in Amazon, Sun Next, everywhere it's available. You can take at any point till you complete, till you do the PhD. Better to identify these time thieves and stay away from them. So I'm just completing the first phase of that, and before I ask some questions, your comfort. So do's and don'ts. I'm moving from last to first. So we had some do's and don'ts in the research. Do means you have to be systematic. You have to work minimum 2 to 3 hours in a day at a proper time, right? Like that, we said some positive aspect. Don't means maintaining too much of gaps, changing the focus, and showing some interest in the money-minded business, etc. That you avoid. Process flow, we start with the problem identification, problem area identification, do a serious literature survey, then try to identify the pitfalls or drawbacks and formulate a research problem and try to work on that further. Then you do the collate, okay, summarize, that kind of thing. Good research must be applicable, logical, and people should believe it. It should use the scientific procedure. It should be replicable. People should take it. This is what we said. Fourth is motivation research. I get a respect, I get intellectual joy, I get a good money, I get an increment, I get a promotion. Objective is to find the truth behind the hidden ideas. I want to contribute something for the society which is original in nature, kind of thing. Research groups are summarized into data-related things and testing the relationship between the unknown and development of model and so on. And definition of research, we saw like we need open-mindedness, we need systematic investigation. We take a new fact or do a existing thing, we do some re-engineering, okay, using scientific method. So these are the things we done it. Now I'm stopping the presentation for temporarily for around 5 to 10 minutes so that I can entertain some questions. So any questions and a quick feedback till now? whether am I delivering the content which is expected. First, let us start with the organizer, Prakash sir. Yeah. Madam.
Sir, good morning, sir. My name is Ponmayil from Vivekananda Institute of Information and Management Studies.
So, madam, your voice is not very clear. Your voice is not very clear, but still I'll try to understand. Please tell.
Sir, can you point out a few more without cost of the journalist, sir? Springer, you said.
Yeah, fine.
Really, the manner one is practical manner, sir.
Yeah, I will show you at the end. I will show you my publications itself, where my scholars I am encouraged to present it. So you can take some out of it. Yes, right? See, Springer is a group of journals. More than 200 plus journals are available in Springer itself. And one such journal is SNCS, Springer Nature in Computer Science. Okay, that is there.
Okay.
This is an example, but you got plenty of options available. IEEE transactions are also there, but little tough to publish there. So IEEE transactions you can take, ACM you can take. These are some examples which I remember immediately. But I will take you to my Google Scholar page at the end of my session. Then you can see my publications and where my people have published and so on. Fine?
Very good, sir. Thank you, sir. Your presentation is very nice, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. So now, something we talk informally, as I told you, we are in the second part now. And you can see my face and I may do some body language and all, you can understand. Okay, so my image should be visible to you. Okay, now I will tell something away from the presentation, what you are supposed to do. Number one, the first step, what we are going to do, as I told you, is identifying the research broader area. இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா எதெல்லாம் வந்து broader ஏரியாவா வருது, யார் எல்லாம் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னா, இப்போ the world is going towards interdisciplinary research. Okay, interdisciplinary research அப்படிங்கும்போது என்ன அப்படின்னா, we take a problem from a domain. The domain need not be computer. Understand? Problem you can take from healthcare. ஒரு ஹெல்த் கேர்ல என்னென்ன ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கும் நினைச்சு பாருங்க. டேட்டா. They have to maintain the data. Yes, Vino, identity. Hello, unmute Vino ji.
Hello, sir, Vinod sir. Vinod sir, kindly unmute your.
Fine, no problem. Thank you, Vinod Teddy sir. Okay. No. There is some issue. Is it possible to take him out from the group?
So we'll try, sir.
Yeah. Somebody is playing. Do you have his number? You call him. Fine. All right. He's changing the mood of the whole flow. Fine. So first I said is a literature. You identify a broader area. Now problems are available with other domains. Solution is available with computer science. Think that all of you are from computer science. I am just saying this very proudly. Problems are available with other domains. Maybe healthcare. Healthcare, the major issue is managing the data. Okay. So managing the data means is a big data problem. Problem of Mrs. Adi Shakti madam, please put it in mute. All of you, please check whether unknowingly you put it, remove the mute. It creates a lot of disturbance. Okay. So Big data problem. So you can apply the big data concept for the medical healthcare application, like how to store in organized storage, how to send the query to the system, how to make it presentable, and data will be in heterogeneous form, right? So some of them are multimedia data. Now previously data means, you know very well, people who have done Oracle. Data types means a standard thing like a number, variable, varchar2, etc., etc. Now each and everything is a data in today's world. I chat with you, there is a data. Now my friend is put some song in between, nice song. There is also a data for me. What shall I understand from the song? That matters much. Okay, your image is your data. My face expression is a data. So you can do something. Now there is a deviation now, facial expression. Facial expression means image processing comes in the picture. Okay, now security of the data means now people are talking about blockchain. So blockchain is more secure. We're going to apply blockchain for the healthcare data. This is one example. One field of healthcare, that's possible. Telemedicine. So data availability problem. I got my hospital here. Now I'm shifting to Delhi. Once again, I need to do same data, whatever prescriptions can be used there. So these are the issues. These are the advantages in this healthcare thing. Like that, every domain we can have many like that. Is there anybody here? Raise the hand. Can I continue? Yeah. So first of all, literature survey. First, we are going to browse for our area. So I want to do some creatively, say image processing. So you have to, that should be a search string, image processing, which domain you want to do. I want to do it for medical data. So image processing plus medical data. You get plenty of papers. What kind of paper you should do? You should take only authentic papers. Trust the IEEE source, IEEE Explorer. You try to get some papers. This is the first stage. And how many you should collect it? You should collect it minimum 100 papers you should collect it. This is what the first step we are doing. After that, what do you do? So after that, what do you do? We have to appraise each and every paper. What do you mean by appraisal? Appraisal means what? As I told you some time back, by looking at the paper, you should know what that person is contributing, what is the limitation. These are the two things you need to do. For that, you need not read the whole paper. There is no need. You can read the abstract only. If you are collecting the abstract, that is more than enough for you. Okay, the abstract you should collect it, and in the abstract you will come to know that what is hours. Okay, so the abstract you should collect it. Then from the abstract you will understand the contribution of the paper. So limitation in the limitation limitation either in the conclusion or just before the conclusion. You need to know the limitation. They will be pointing it out. Limitation எப்படின்னா நான் ஒரு பேப்பர் எழுதுறேன்னா நானே என் பேப்பர் லிமிடேஷன் சொல்ல மாட்டேன், டைரக்டா சொல்ல மாட்டேன், பட் இன்டைரக்டா சொல்லுவேன். எப்படி இன்டைரக்டா சொல்றோம்? எப்படி இன்டைரக்டா சொல்லுவோம்? ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், there is a person who did it with medical data. Okay, so முதல்ல சொல்லிப்பாரு, I am trying to publish this paper for this kind of application. So I'll understand it. That's called the contribution. Limitation, I have tested this application on audio data only. However, in future, I will do it with multimedia data also. இப்போ என்ன அர்த்தம்? இன் ஃபியூச்சர்ல மல்டிமீடியா டேட்டால பண்ண போறாருன்னா இப்ப பண்ணலன்னு அர்த்தம். அப்போ அதான் லிமிடேஷன். So this is the way some psychologically you should see the paper and try to understand and try to do that. Fine. So these are the important thing. நம்ம என்ன பண்ணிருக்கோம்? அப்போ 100 பேப்பர், 75க்கு 100 பேப்பர் கலெக்ட் பண்ணிருக்கோம். ஒவ்வொரு பேப்பருக்கும் நம்ம அப்ரைசல் எழுதுறோம். சரியா? சோ இதுதான் பேப்பர் அப்படின்னா சின்னதா ஒரு தனியா ஒரு ஒயிட் பேப்பர்ல எழுதி பென்சிலால எழுதுங்க. ஒரு பிளஸ் ஒரு மைனஸ். பிளஸ்ங்கும் போது இந்த பேப்பர் என்ன கான்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணுங்கிறது பிளஸ். அந்த பேப்பரோட லிமிடேஷன் வந்து மைனஸ். எழுதி நீங்க எடுத்த பேப்பர்ல பின் பண்ணிடலாம். இதை பின் பண்ணி வச்சிடணும். Understood? 75 paper, 75 appraisal, you should have written it. Each appraisal has got a contribution as well as a limitation. இதெல்லாம் பண்ணி முடிச்சாச்சு அப்படின்னா அடுத்து நான் என்ன சொல்லிக்கேன், கிளாசிஃபை பண்ணணும். கிளாசிஃபை பண்ணும்போது உங்க டேபிள்ல உட்காந்துருக்கீங்க, உங்க டேபிளுக்கு முன்னால இமேஜின் தட் 5 to 6 tray are available, trays அல்லது plate. 5 to 6 trays or plates available. ஸோ ஒரு பேப்பர் எடுக்கிறீங்க, இந்த பேப்பர்ல என்ன பண்றோம், ஓகே ரைட், இதை வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ட்ரேல வச்சுக்கணும். ரெண்டாவது பேப்பர் எடுக்கிறீங்க, இந்த பேப்பர்ல ஆள் பண்ணதான் பண்ணிருக்கான், ஆனா எஸ் அப்ளைட் வேற அல்காரிதம் யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கான், அப்ப தூக்கி செகண்ட்ல வைங்க. தேர்ட் எடுங்க, இது அப்ளிகேஷனே டிஃபரெண்ட், அப்ப தூக்கி தேர்ட்ல வைங்க. ஸோ வாட் யூ டு, ஃபோர்த் பேப்பர் எடுக்கிறீங்க which has got similar to செகண்ட் பேப்பர் அப்படின்னா செகண்ட் பேப்பர்ல வச்சிருக்கீங்க. இதுதான் கிளாசிபிகேஷன். நீங்க ஸ்லோவா கிராஜுவலா வந்து ஒரு ட்ரீ மாதிரி நீங்க ட்ரீல பிரான்சஸ், மல்டிபிள் பிரான்சஸ் இருக்கும். உங்க முன்னாடி இருக்கிற 6 ட்ரே வந்து 6 பிக் பிரான்சஸ் ஆஃப் த வால்யூம் கலெக்ஷன் ஆஃப் லிட்ரேச்சர் வாட் எவர் யூ ஹவ் டன் இட். ஸோ இதை நீங்க குரூப் பண்ணும் போதுதான் உங்களுக்கு ரியல் டிஃபிகல்ட்டி தெரியும். ஸோ குரூப் பண்ணியாச்சுக்கும் போது அடுத்த ஸ்டெப் என்ன பண்ணா, யூ ட்ரை டு கெட் அ ஸ்கிமேட்டிக் டயக்ராம். ஸ்கிமேட்டிக் டயக்ராம் அப்படின்னா நீங்க படிச்ச லிட்ரேச்சரை நீங்க கிளாசிஃபை பண்ணிருக்கீங்க, அதை ஒரு ட்ரீ மாதிரி பிரசன்ட் பண்ணணும். ட்ரீ மாதிரி பிரசன்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு there is a root node and following that there will be branches. தலைகீழ ட்ரீ வச்சா குரூப் அது மாதிரி நீங்க ஒரு படம் வரைய போறீங்க. மேல வந்து ரூட் நோட், அதுக்கப்புறம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இந்த 6 பிரான்ச் இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா, இந்த 6 ட்ரேல இருக்கிறது 6 பிரான்ச், ஒவ்வொன்றும் என்னென்ன அதை வந்து எப்படி ஃபர்தரா டிவைட் பண்ணலாம், சப் பிரான்ச்சஸ், சப் பிரான்ச்சஸ் அண்ட் சோ ஆன். இந்த ட்ரீயை முடிச்சாச்சு அப்படின்னா இந்த ட்ரீயை மட்டும் நீங்க எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றீங்க with the support of the literature whatever you have gained so far. So அவ்வளவுதான் முடிஞ்சது. So நான் என்ன பண்ணேன், I took some literature 75 to 100, then I read each and every paper, I wrote the appraisal, then I classified them. This is what we have done so far. Now you are ready to publish your first survey paper. In the survey paper, where you have to publish? You have to publish it in a very good international conference, which are Scopus indexed or something like Taylor and Francis or IEEE. These kind of conferences you should look for so that you get a Scopus publication added in your profile. This is the first step. In the first step, second step, you have to do something with your research guide. In the 5 or 6 path, which path I can do, that your guide will help you. So on the path நீங்க ட்ரேல பாக்குறீங்க 6 பேப்பர் இருக்கு. இந்த 6 பேப்பர் மட்டும் எடுத்துட்டு remaining discard the remaining. Another very important, when you are browsing for the literature, see to that you are getting the latest journals less than 3 years of duration. Now you are doing is 2023, you can go to 2023 half of the month. Okay, 22 you consider, 21 you consider, 20 you consider, don't go beyond that, right? So last 3 years of publications, that would be good enough to complete your paper. Don't take some paper which are pretty old, 8 years old, 10 years old and all. People would have taken it, the juice out of it. Please don't do that, fine? So this is what the thing. Now from the group, you have to read thoroughly. Literature thoroughly read panala. We read only superficially. Now for getting a problem from a group of papers, you should read thoroughly. Thorough பண்ணும்போது என்னன்னு தெரியணும், first contribution, ரெண்டாவது limitation, who are the authors, எந்த டூல் யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கான், அந்த டூல் நம்ம கிடைக்குமா ஈஸியா, can you implement on the same tool. இந்த ஒர்க்க நான் எடுத்து பண்றதா, is there any gap, ஏதாவது assumptions நான் வச்சுக்க மாட்டேன், is it necessary to go with some assumption or blindly I can follow. This is what the question. Now you take one paper identified by your guide, you implement it as it is without any change. This we call it as A architecture. Note that for A architecture, you are not contributing anything. Everything is already there. You just re-implemented, that's all, without any changes. Now, you understand the behavior of this model. You feel like by altering the algorithm, but resubstituting an algorithm, the improvisation can be made in terms of efficiency. So you try to re-engineer that model. To re-implement it, you call it as B architecture. A architecture is original, B architecture is modified, You compare both. There are many measures are available. How each researcher is comparing his work with the other work, that standardization is required for you. It may be a space complexity, it may be a time complexity, it may be any efficiency factor. So anything can be there. So you have to use these parameters. People who are doing object-oriented programming in software engineering, they got certain metrics like CBO, like cohesion between objects, DIT, depth of inheritance tree, and lack of cohesion between modules. There are software engineering people, they have this kind of measures, okay? So use any of the standard measures. You should justify like why I'm using this measure for proving my research. That should be justifiable. And you do that. Probably first set of work நீங்க ஒரு பேப்பர் பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணியாச்சு ஸ்கோபஸ் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்ல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அவுட்கம் வந்தாச்சு. செகண்ட் ஒரு பேஸ் பேப்பர் எடுத்து நீங்க இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்றீங்க, திரும்ப அந்த பேஸ் பேப்பரை மாடிஃபை பண்ணி பண்றீங்க. செகண்ட் பேப்பர் ரெடி. திஸ் டைம் இட் ஷுட் கம் இன் ஸ்கோபஸ் ஜர்னல். வெரி குட் ஸ்கோபஸ் ஜர்னல் இட் ஷுட் கம். தேர்ட், யூ கேன் டேக் அவுட் த பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் கம்பேரிசன். அதை மட்டும் எடுத்து தனியா பேப்பர் போடுறவங்க இருக்காங்க. ஜென்ரலைசேஷன்ங்கிற ஃபேக்டர் நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணோம். அப்போ இந்த அப்ளிகேஷனை can I apply this logic to other application also? Either second. So ரெண்டு ஜேர்னல் ஒரு ஸ்கோபஸ் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்க்கு உங்கள்கிட்ட கண்டென்ட் ரெடி. இதை முடிச்ச பிறகு நீங்க தீசிஸ் எழுதும் போது you can code these publications as a milestone. அப்ப என்ன பண்றீங்க, தீசிஸ்ல வந்து செகண்ட் சாப்டர் வந்து ஜென்ரலா லிட்ரேச்சர் ரிவ்யூவா இருக்கும். அந்த லிட்ரேச்சர் நீங்க ஆல்ரெடி பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணியாச்சு, அதை நீங்க கோட் பண்றீங்க, ஒரு ஃபுட் நோட்ல கோட் பண்றீங்க. தேர்ட், யூஸ்வலா will be your proposed model. இந்த ப்ரொபோஸ்ட் மாடலை ஏற்கனவே ஒரு ஜேர்னல் நீங்க பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணியாச்சு, அதை அங்க கோட் பண்ணுங்க. அந்த பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் ரிசல்ட் அனாலிசிஸ் அதையும் நீங்க ஏற்கனவே பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணியாச்சு, அதை அதோடைய சாப்டர்ல நீங்க ஃபுட் நோட்டா போடுங்க. அப்ப தீசிஸ் திட்டவங்க என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, this has been already published by the scholar, why I should read it again? I can just skip it. So your research PhD thesis will be evaluated by the people at a very less quantity of time. ஃபாரின் ஆர்டிஸ்ட்ல சில பேர் போட்டு வச்சுவாங்க, ஏன்னா அவங்களுக்கு லாஜிக் பிடிபடலை அப்படின்னா அவங்க திரும்ப எப்போ எடுத்து செக் பண்ணி தராங்களோ அப்போ லேட் ஆயிடும். ஸோ நீங்க வந்து இதெல்லாம் கரெக்டா பேப்பரை கரெக்ட் இன்டர்வெல்ல பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணி அதை உங்க தீசிஸ்ல மென்ஷன் பண்ணீங்கன்னா ஸோ இட் கோஸ் வெரி ஃபாஸ்ட், வெரி ஸ்மூத் சேல். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் வாட் ஐ வாண்டட் டு டிஸ்கஸ் வித் யூ இன்ஃபார்மலி. ஸோ யுவர் பேப்பர் இஸ் த வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் திங். Where you publish is also equally important. Now, at this stage, I can again accept some of the questions we can answer. I'm ready to answer. You can ask some questions. Anybody has got questions at this stage? So, madam, she asked about the good journals. It comes by your experience only. But still, I'm happy to show my Google Scholar page now. I'll take this opportunity to just see that, okay? So for that, I will just share my screen once again. So hope my screen is visible now. So I'll type... Prakash, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I got approximately 600 citations so far, and please understand that I'm not a great achiever, okay, because administration is my core competency. But still, as I told you, my professors used to say, எல்லாருக்கும் மூணு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட், ஒன் அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் காம்போனன்ட், ரிசர்ச் காம்போனன்ட் அண்ட் டீச்சிங் காம்போனன்ட். பட் ரேஷியோ கேன் பி டிஃபரெண்ட். ஸோ ரிசர்ச் கம்ஸ் இன் செகண்ட் ப்ரையாரிட்டி ஆர் தேர்ட் ப்ரையாரிட்டி ஃபார் மீ, பட் ஐம் அ administrator only, because as a dean you won't find time to sit for this kind of thing, but still these are the things. There is a journal like International Journal of Advanced Computer Science and Applications, where this is considered as a good journal. You can just take a look at it. This is the maximum citation for my paper is 225 in that. This Dr. Vinodina and me has done. So Vinatana has done the survey of research allocation strategies in cloud computing. It's a reference to very thing, and you see many of them are. This is another journal. Many journal. Another thing is like they get closed also. If they don't get enough paper, today it will be existing, tomorrow it will be closed. That is also there. This is the one I said that Shailaja Jaishankar, superlative model for a short answer. This came in Springer Journal. So Education and Information Technology is a SCI index journal. Okay, it is not Scopus, it's SCI index journal. It's one step ahead. And it is a Springer Journal. This is one more good journal. And I don't think this is a great journal, but still you can make a try. International Journal of Advanced Networking Application. It's your Tamil Nadu based journal. It is not Scopus indexed, but you will get more citations because it's an open journal. Journal of Object Technology. And this is the journal, this is also Scopus index journal. People who are doing software engineering, etc., or design patterns. This is also design pattern, so you can publish it there. BJIT is another journal which is done by my friend, Dr. Oda from Bharati Vidyapeeth, New Delhi. That is a Scopus journal. That is also good. That is this International Journal of Information Technology. Big Data Analytics Proceedings. These are all some of the journals. And I maintain a H index of 10 and I-10 index of 11. Some of you may be doing more also, but this is what I could do in my available time. Okay. Now, people who are taking up the research as a first time now, I have a news for you. This is the second international conference Marwadi University is hosting in December. And we do it in Springer. We also do the extended version in some journals, good journals, Scopus journals. So you get a double bonanza. You can publish your paper in a proceeding, Springer proceeding, which is Scopus indexed. Then we'll allow you 3 months time to submit an extended version. So that also will go to Springer journal. So there are some important dates, all those things are there. People who are interested don't think I'm doing advertisement or something. I'm getting enough papers with the second attempt. Those who are interested can take this as a news. The conference website is https www.ascisconf.org. ascisconf.org. So you can take a look at it. Now, the time is approximately 11:40. Now I need to continue the presentation where I left now. So now I'm going to give certain tips for the effective article writing. What are the steps in effective article writing? This is also very much important for you. So there are 2 steps basically. In the first step, do the research first. Some people without completing the research, they will start writing. No, don't do. Complete the research first and then do that. Just as our students now, when you give a practical problem, they will immediately switch on the system, start coding. Coding ku munadi enna plan pannirukka, enna idea vechirukka onnu illa. For loop, if loop ella potu mudichuvaanga. முதல்ல வந்து என்ன பிளான் பண்றோம்ங்கறத முதல்ல அல்காரிதமோ ஃப்ளோ சார்ட்டோ பேப்பர்ல எழுதிட்டு பிளான் பண்ண பிறகு they have to do the coding. அதே மாதிரி தான் நம்மளும் முதல்ல ரிசர்ச் பண்ணாம we cannot do the article writing. So research பண்றதுக்கு நான் ஏற்கனவே சொன்ன மாதிரி டாபிக் சூஸ் பண்ணணும், கீவேர்ட் சர்ச் பண்ணணும். Article length is important because every journal has got a specification of article length. They even discourage for a lengthier article, so you have to work on that. But Scopus is an exception. Okay, they allow, Springer is an exception. They allow lengthier journal. They called us big article, small article. Like that, they got 2 classification. Any pages less than 5 or 6, they are called as small article. Pages which is extended after 6. So paper of 20 pages, 15 pages, they are considered as a big article. Okay. And step 2, you have create an outline for your article. So heading ரொம்ப கரெக்டா கொடுக்கணும். அது வந்து பேப்பர் படிக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாலேயே என்ன பண்றிருக்காருன்னு ஒரு ஐடியா கொடுக்கணும். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், which problem I have taken, which technology I have used, what are you presenting? You are presenting a dish. Sweet, karama, coffee, you should tell. Whether it is a model, whether it's an architecture, everything, you have to specify in the heading பார்க்கும்போது காரண பெயர்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, ஹெட்டிங் பார்க்கும்போது ஒர்க் ஃபுல்லா தெரிஞ்சிடணும், அவருக்கு என்ன பண்ணிருக்காங்க கிளாரிட்டி கிடைச்சிடும். இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் யூ ஷுட் டு டு கவர் த ஃபவுண்டேஷன் ரிக்வயர்ட் பை த ரீடர்ஸ். இந்த இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷனை கொண்டு போய் உங்க ஒர்க்கை பத்தி நிறைய பேசக்கூடாது. இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் இஸ் டாக்கிங் அபவுட் த பெரிஃபரி ஆஃப் யுவர் ஒர்க். ஸோ இன்னைக்கு என்ன அதுக்கு என்ன ஃபண்டமெண்டல் தேவைப்படுதோ அதை வைக்கணும். இப்போ கிளவுட் அப்படின்னா வாட்ஸ் கிளவுட் கம்ப்யூட்டிங், வாட் ஆர் த சர்வீசஸ் அவைலபிள், வாட் இஸ் மீன் பை வெர்ச்சுவலைசேஷன், இதெல்லாம் வந்து இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன்ல வரணும். ஓகே, ரிலேட்டட் ஒர்க் அது செகண்ட் சாப்டர். ரிலேட்டட் ஒர்க்ல ஏன் ஒர்க் மாதிரியே யாராவது பண்ணிருக்காங்களா, அதுல 2 to 3 ஒர்க் எடுத்து அதை வந்து இங்க கோட் பண்ணணும். இப்ப உங்க குழந்தைங்க இருக்கு, உங்க குழந்தைய வந்து வேற குழந்தையோட கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது எப்படி சொல்லுவீங்க? அந்த ஒரு பையன் பேரு கிருஷ்ணன் வச்சுக்கோ, கிருஷ்ணா வந்து படிப்புல ரொம்ப இஸ் வெரி குட், இஸ் குட் இன் ஸ்டடீஸ், அட் த சேம் டைம் இஸ் வெரி மிஸ்chief, ரைட்? அடுத்தது மேனகா, மேனகா ஷி இஸ் வெரி குட் இன் பர்சனாலிட்டி, ஷி இஸ் வெரி குட், ஷி இஸ் வெரி குட் இன் ஸ்டடீஸ், பட் ஷி இஸ் நாட் ஆல் ரவுண்டர். வேறஸ் என்னோட பையன் படிப்புலயும் ஸ்ட்ராங், ஓகே, ஓவரால் டெவலப்மெண்ட்லயும் ஸ்ட்ராங். அந்த மாதிரி சொல்ற மாதிரி related work, you have to compare your proposed work with 3 to 5 existing work, and you have to do the comparison. What is the plus point, what is that they are missing, what is that fellow missing, and all the 5 what I am going to propose. That's the motivation. இவங்கெல்லாம் ஃபுல்லா அட்ரஸ் பண்ணாத நான் அட்ரஸ் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன் என் பேப்பர்ல. That is what is called the motivation or related work. Then the body to contain either a survey or a contribution. சர்வேங்கும் போது இம்ப்ளிமெண்டேஷன் தேவையில்லை, அது வந்து ஜேர்னல்ல தான் அப்ளை ஆகும். மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த குட் ஜேர்னல்ஸ், சரி அது வந்து மோஸ்ட்லி கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்க்கு தான் வரும். குட் ஜேர்னல்ஸ் வில் நாட் அக்செப்ட் சர்வேஸ், ப்ளீஸ் நோட் த பாயிண்ட். சம் ஆஃப் த குட் கான்ஃபரன்சஸ் ஆர் ஆல்சோ வில் நாட் அக்செப்ட் சர்வேஸ், பட் சர்வே இஸ் அ நெசசரி மைல்ஸ்டோன் when you are going with the PhD. சர்வே பண்ணாம நீங்க பண்ண முடியாது. சர்வே பண்ணிட்டு நான் ஏற்கனவே சொன்னதையே வேஸ்ட் பண்ணணும், பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிடுங்க. எங்க பப்ளிஷ் பண்றானோ அங்க பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணுங்க. ஒரு ஆளு ரிஜெக்ட் பண்ணாததுக்காக நம்ம பேப்பர் வந்து ஒத்து வராது நீங்க முடிவு பண்ணக்கூடாது. இது வந்து மேரேஜ் அலையன்ஸ் மாதிரி, உங்களை பல பேருக்கு பிடிக்கும் பல பேருக்கு பிடிக்காது. அது மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு பல பேரை பிடிக்கும் பல பேருக்கு பிடிக்காது. யூ கீப் ஆன் ட்ரைங். அதே மாதிரிதான் இங்க ஒரு ஜேர்னல் ஆர் ஒரு கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் ரிஜெக்ட் ஆச்சு அப்படின்னா you have to pay attention to why they have rejected. You ask for the reason, you ask for the comment by the standard conference la kuduthruvaanga, idha comment சொல்லிட்டு you work on the comment again. Gajani Muhammad தான், you work on the comment again and again republishing. இப்படி பண்ணும்போது ஒரு சின்ன சேஞ்ச் நீங்க பண்ணி ஆகணும். என்னன்னா டைட்டிலையும் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணணும். ஒர்க் எல்லாம் மாத்திட்டேன் சார் அதே டைட்டில் வச்சுட்டு இருக்கேன் அப்படின்னா some of the plagiarism checker or something you get a problem like this fellow already trying. அதே மாதிரி பல பேர் பல இடங்கள் அப்ளை பண்ணுவாங்க டைட்டில், அதுவும் கொஞ்சம் அவாய்ட் பண்றது பெட்டர். ஒன்னு அப்ளை பண்ணி ரிசல்ட் என்ன வருதுன்னு பார்த்துட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் you can go for the other thing. Then conclusion is very much important for that. So how do you conclude matters much. So many people, many search engines will display only your abstract and conclusion. Conclusion கூட வராது, abstract வரும். So abstract and conclusion ரொம்ப பர்ஃபெக்டா முடிக்கணும், இல்லைன்னா கஷ்டப்படுங்க. So references, appendix. Reference you can quote maybe 50 to 75 references. Out of them 60% should be from authentic sources like IEEE, Springer. Journals, other journals you can give 10%. Conference you can give 5%. Books you can give only 1%. Book or website maximum avoid karna padega. Sorry, you should avoid books and journals. Otherwise you could only 1% or something, you can do that. Appendix, you have a tabulated data, கஷ்டப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க, அதை எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிருக்கோம் பேப்பர்ல, அது எங்க போறது, தூக்கி போட்டுறாதீங்க, appendixல ஏத்துங்க. So அதுவும் பப்ளிஷ் ஆகும். So this is what the thing. So certain tips are there very importantly. I still have approximately 15 minutes. 10 tips for effective article writing. You can just go through that. பெரிய விஷயம் கிடையாது, நிறைய பேர் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கலாம். அது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேரா, அதாவது அப்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் வந்து ரொம்ப கிளியர் and very simple. I'll tell one statement. அப்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட்ல எழுதுற ஒவ்வொரு லைனும் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். எந்த சீக்வன்ஸ்ல சொல்றீங்கிறது இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஒரு சீக்வன்ஸ், அதுக்கப்புறம் what do you say, both are important. Abstract should be written very carefully, very precisely. So your point and point by point, you can express it. Your organization, you can material. Over point, you can expand it further into a paragraph. ரீடரை வந்து கம்ஃபர்டபுளா வச்சுக்கணும். கஷ்டமான ஒரு வேர்டை போட்டு அவனை குழப்பி நான் என்ன சொல்ல வரேங்கிறத சொல்லாம ஹைடு பண்ணி அதெல்லாம் பண்ணா ரீடர்ஸ் ஒன்ட் ஃபீல் இட் கம்ஃபர்டபுள். உங்க பேப்பரை எவாலுவேட் பண்றதும் உங்களை மாதிரி ஒரு ரீடர் தான். அவர் ஒரு பெரிய அறிவுஜீவிலாம் கிடையாது. ஸோ அவர் வந்து உங்க பேப்பரை படிக்கும் போது இந்த ஃப்ளோ should be very smooth. The English, whatever you use, must be very simple. No, don't use compound statement, complicated statement. நான் சொன்ன முதல் டெஃபினேஷன் மாதிரி 5 லைனுக்கு அப்புறம் ஃபுல் ஸ்டாப் அதெல்லாம் அவாய்ட் பண்ணிட்டு சிம்பிள் ஸ்ட்ரைட் ஃபார்வர்ட் do that. Short paragraph you can organize them. And சார் நான் வந்து 10 கண்டுபிடிச்சேன், 8 மட்டும் சொல்லிட்டு 2 வந்து மத்தியானத்தை வச்சுக்கிறேன், சாப்பாடு வச்சுக்கிற மாதிரி. நோ, என்ன பண்ணிருக்கீங்க அது முதல்ல சொல்லிடுங்க. திரும்ப புதுசா கலெக்ட் பண்ணுங்க. we sell them, don't afraid to spill all the beans. இதெல்லாம் கொட்டி போச்சுன்னா என்ன பண்றது, திரும்ப கலெக்ட் பண்ணுங்க. அதான் லைஃப் நமக்கு. we can do that. ட்ரேட் சீக்கிரட்லாம் மறைச்சிக்கணுங்கிறதுலாம் ஒண்ணு கிடையாது. ரிசர்ச்ல ஓப்பன் மைண்டட்னஸ் வேணும். கத்துக்கும் போதும் சரி, நம்ம சொல்லும் போதும் சரி, ஓப்பனா பேசணும். பாக்கி எல்லாம் இருக்கு, இதுல பாத்துக்கலாம். I'm just skipping it. Give resource information, another opinion of your article. So நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன்னா, நான் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் இருந்தப்போ அனுப்பத்துக்கு முன்னாடி இன்ஃபார்மா ஒரு 3-4 பேர்ட்ட அனுப்பிடுறது. எப்படி இருக்கு, என்ன கேப், என்ன பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு கேட்டுட்டு அப்புறம் பண்ணலாம். அந்த மாதிரி சூஸ் பண்ற ஆளு பெரிய லெவல் இருக்கும். வேற ஏன்னா வந்து அவன் உங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து எடுத்துட்டு போய் அவன் போட்டா வச்சுக்கோங்க, அதெல்லாம் வந்து யூ கேன் அவாய்ட். உங்களுக்கு அன்னெசரி டென்ஷன். இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வந்து பிகினிங்லேயே சொல்லிடணும். அதை சஸ்பென்ஸ் நான் கிளைமேக்ஸா சொல்லுவேன் அப்படின்னா ஓடி போயிடுவாங்க, ரைட்டா, படிக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ தட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ these are the 10 simple steps which I have gathered from various sources. I think this will be useful for you. Right? என்ன மிஸ்டேக்ஸ் பண்றாங்க, காமன் மிஸ்டேக்ஸ் டன் இன் ஆர்டிகல் ரைட்டிங். கிராமட்டிக்கல் செக்கே பண்றது இல்லை, ஸ்பெல்லிங் செக்கும் பண்றது இல்லை, பங்க்சுவேஷன் எரர். இதுக்கெல்லாம் நிறைய டூல்ஸ் வந்தாச்சு. கிராமர்லின்னு ஒரு டூல், அது போட்டீங்கன்னா அதுவா சொல்ல போகுது. ஸ்பெல் செக் இருக்கு, உங்க MS வேர்ட்லயே ஸ்பெல் செக் இருக்கு. அதை போட்டு பார்க்கறதுக்கு ஒரு வாட் இஸ் ஹெசிடேஷன், ஐ டு நாட் நோ. அவன் சைட்ல பார்த்தா வச்சுக்க ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும். அவன் வந்து உங்க இம்ப்ரெஷனே போயிடும். கண்டென்ட் வைஸ் நல்லா இருக்கலாம், நீங்க கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்கலாம், பட் இந்த வந்து வில் ஸ்பாயில் தி இம்ப்ரெஷன். டூ மச் ஆஃப் ஹைப். நான் அப்படியாக்கும் அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணிருக்கேன், இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணிருக்கேன், இது உலகத்தையே பெஸ்ட், நோபல் பிரைஸ், நத்திங். எவ்வளவு லெவலுக்கு நீங்க போனாலும் அந்த அளவுக்கு ஹம்பிள்னஸ் இஸ் ரிக்வயர்ட் ஃபார் தட். உங்க ஹம்பிள்னஸ் தான் உங்களுக்கு நான் ஹெல்ப் பண்ண முடியுது. அப்துல் கலாம் மனசுல வச்சுக்கோங்க, எவ்வளவு பெரிய மனுஷன், எவ்வளவு பெரிய சாதனைகள் பண்ணியிருக்காரு, ஏதாவது எங்கேயாவது எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. அவரோட லீடர்ஷிப் குவாலிட்டியை வந்து குறைகளை மட்டும் தான் அக்கௌண்ட்ல போட்டுப்பாரு. சக்சஸ் எல்லாம் அவர் டீமுக்கு டெலிகேட் பண்ணுவார். That's the same way dedicate பண்ணுவார். That's the same way we should follow. ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் பிராக்டிஸ் பண்றது, அப்படிதான் ஆகணும், வேற வழி இல்லை. ஸோ எலாபரேட் டிஸ்கஷன், அவர் என்ன படிக்கிறாரு, என்ன நம்ம சொன்ன பூரா சொல்லுங்கிறத விட அவருக்கு என்ன தேவையோ அதை மட்டும் கொடுக்கணும். அது மாதிரி சில விஷயங்கள் இருக்கு. ஓவர்லோடிங் ஆஃப் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன், ரிசோர்ஸ் பாக்ஸ் போட்டு ஃபுல் பண்ணி அடிச்சு விட்டுணும், அது நம்ம அவாய்ட் பண்ணலாம். பிளாஜரிசம் இஸ், என்னால வந்து ஒண்ணு டைஜஸ்டே பண்ண முடியாது வந்து இந்த பிளாஜரிசம். நான் பிளாஜரிசம் வந்து பிளாஜரைஸ்ட் ஆர்டிகல் சப்மிட் பண்ணதுக்காக நான் வந்து ரிஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷனே கேன்சல் பண்ணிருக்கேன். ரிசர்ச் ஸ்காலரையே நான் கேன்சல் பண்ணிருக்கேன், வீட்டுக்கு போகணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு சொல்லி அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கேன். நிறைய பேர் எனக்காக சவுத்ல டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகி இங்கே வந்தாங்க. அவங்க வந்து அன்எத்திக்கல் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணதுனால அவங்க அப்படியே அடுத்த ட்ரெயின்ல டிக்கெட் வாங்கி அனுப்பிச்சாச்சு. ஸோ அதெல்லாம் வந்து ரொம்ப ரொம்ப கேர்ஃபுல்லா பண்ணணும். அதுக்கு பண்றதுக்கு ரிசர்ச்சே பண்ணாம இருக்கலாம். நான் ரிசர்ச் நாட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டட் சார், அதெல்லாம் பண்ணாம இருக்கலாம். இன்னும் சில ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வராங்க வந்து நம்மளே கேட்கறாங்க, நீங்க யாராவது சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணுங்க, நான் 1 லட்ச ரூபா தரேன், தீசிஸ் எழுதி கொடுத்துடணும், முதல்ல இடத்த காலி பண்ணு. ஐ எம் நாட் அ பர்சன் ஃபார் சச் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் திங்ஸ். ஸோ அதெல்லாம் வந்து ரொம்ப இட்ஸ் ஆல் பிஞ்சிங் அவர் ஹார்ட். ஸோ டூ தட். These are all the some of the common mistakes people do out of curiosity or pressure. Please avoid it. Nothing. It's ரொம்ப என்ஜாய் பண்ணலாம். நீங்க ரிசர்ச் வந்து you can enjoy a lot. That's what I say. So conclusion என்ன அப்படின்னா, ஆர்டிக்கல் ரைட்டிங் வந்து ஒரு ஆர்ட். ஒரு எப்படி ஒரு பெயிண்டிங் பண்றீங்களோ, எப்படி ஒரு உங்க ஃபேவரட் மியூசிஷியன் இளையராஜா, AR ரஹ்மான் மியூசிக் கேட்கறீங்களோ, அது மாதிரி வந்து ஆர்டிக்கல் ரைட்டிங் வந்து ஒரு ஆர்ட். ஒரிஜினாலிட்டி very much important. Simplicity is also important. Clarity. Whatever you want to say, clear it, very clarity, statement is it. So ரீடருக்கு வந்து என்ன மாதிரி கொடுக்கணும், வந்து இம்ப்ரெஸ் ஆகணும், ஓப்பனிங்லேயே இம்ப்ரெஸ் ஆகணும். ஓகே, படிக்கணுங்கிறது மாதிரி ஃபர்தர் லேர்னிங் பண்ண வைக்கணும். அவங்கள நீங்க கொடுத்த பிறகு அவங்கள வந்து ஃபர்தர் லேர்னிங் அதுலயே டிஸ்கவர் பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷன் கொடுக்கணும். அண்ட் அப்ஜெக்டிவ் கன்க்ளூஷன் ரெண்டு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். முதல்ல என்ன சொல்றோமோ அதை கடைசியா முடிச்சிட்டோம் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி சொல்லணும். முதல்ல 4 அப்ஜெக்டிவ் சொல்லிட்டு கடைசியில 2 மட்டும் முடிச்சிருக்கோம்னா இட்ஸ் நாட் கன்சிடர்ட் as a correct thing. You should perfect one-to-one mapping should happen between the objective and the conclusion. So this is what I said about our conference. And I'm now end of the presentation. Please note down my email ID sridharan.rajagopal@gmail.com. And I'm also active in social media, especially LinkedIn. So you may, I think Prakash sir knows about my LinkedIn. You simply search for Sridharan Rajagopal. You can see my LinkedIn profile. Even though I'm busy with other social media also, but I respect LinkedIn very much because it helps the professional association. And again, over to you for your feedback, suggestions, questions. I just left you 10 minutes before so that I can entertain some of the questions. Anything else you expect from me, especially the organizers, head of the department, principal, and Dr. Prakash? I'm sorry if I used Tamil in between because I don't get any opportunity to talk in Tamil, especially for the past 12 years. 12 years I'm in Rajkot. Before that, 3 years I was in Bangalore. So 15 years I'm away from Tamil Nadu. So Tamil, என்னோட speech pure Tamil இருந்தது. இப்போ வந்து I'm just talking like a North Indian. I can understand. Anyway, I could not avoid mixing Tamil with that because the language has got its own sweetness, which I can never forget. After all, it's my mother tongue. Any more questions from you? You can, if organizers permit you, you can unmute and you can ask questions or something. You can use a chat window, etc. You can write to me also. You can write to me. I'm happy to answer to you by email also. Not a problem.
Sir, any queries? Sir, yours. Hello? Sir,
Yes, sir. Hello, Prakash sir, please tell me.
Sir, your session is very useful for us, very informative.
Thank you so much, sir.
Anybody, any questions? Kindly ask.
Fine, no problem. There are 2 things, whether I have anticipated the questions and answered in my presentation. Otherwise, nothing is understood also. Both are 2 sides of the coin. Hopefully, I have done some justification. If I have done some justification, you can use message window for a thumbs up. If you are not happy, you can have thumbs down also. Not a problem. Can I expect your response in 5 minutes? 3 minutes, all of you? Yeah, there is Pommail madam has got some query.
Your presentation is tremendous, sir. With real-time example, you said thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. So nice of you, ma'am. That should be the specialty of a teacher. You are taking right examples at the right point of time is very much important. So thank you so much. I saw a lot of thumbs up there. So the day is done for me. I've done something justification. Thank you so much for the God for giving this capability to share whatever I got with you. Plus you people, some of them asked good questions in the beginning. That's also very good. So with that, I'm winding up my session. Thank you once again for the organizers for inviting me to share the very first session of kickstarting of research. I wish every one of you will take research also as your passion and try to acquire your PhD and try to publish the papers before and after PhD or even a continuous manner throughout your life. Thank you very much. Namaste, Vanakkam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, I would like to welcome Dr. A. Prakash to render the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I deem it a great honor and privilege to purpose of vote of thanks on the occasion. Let me first of all start by giving thanks to the Almighty God for making today's program a resounding success. First and foremost, I thank our resource person of the day, Dr. R. Sridharan, Dean, Faculty of Computer Application, Marwad University, Rajkot, Gujarat, who despite his busy schedule has found to grace his occasion and for enlightening us with his knowledge about kickstarting your research. Your knowledge, expertise, and presence have truly enriched this program, and we are grateful for the valuable insight you shared with us. I would like to thank the Hindustan College Management. I would Principal Dr. A. Ponnusamy and Dr. A. V. Senthil Kumar Sir, Director, Department of Computer Applications, for their unwavering support and motivations. A special thanks to all the faculty members for their enthusiastic support and encouragement throughout the planning and execution of this event. Furthermore, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all the participants for your immense attention. Your presence has added a value to the program. Gratitude is a powerful catalyst for happiness. It is the spark that lighting a fire of joy in your soul. With this quote, I once again thank you all the making this session a grand success. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I request all the participants to join us tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.